Greetings and salutations. How are we tonight? We missed the live last night. Mama was busy. Mama's still busy, but we gotta help people. So here I am. Hello, Marlene Lopez, the awesome soap maker. How's everybody doing tonight? Look at my frizzy. My lord. I am so unkept. I've been so busy. Tuka Waka, hey girl. Keeping it clean tonight. Yo, I had to PM Tuka Waka after last week's. Will you go lay down? After last week's live, because I thought maybe some feelings might have been felt about some questions she asked, so I wanted to make sure she was alright. And we got that cleared out of the way. Hello, Aston McGuire. Yeah, busy. Oh, Lord. busy. I got new curtains. They're not what I wanted. They're not what I ordered. Whatever. Keep the curtains and I got my money back, so I ain't complaining. But what I ordered was really cool and really pretty, and Nothingness Chronicles. Hello, honey, has joined us again. Yeah, that's not what I wanted, but they were free, basically. I got my money back, so whatever. They're okay for now. We needed something a little brighter for spring. Hello, Wonder Witch. How are you this evening? Oh, I've been so busy. Lord, I didn't get the live last night, guys. I apologize, but I was like in the cemetery way after dark, and it sucked, and I still didn't find what I was looking for, so I gotta go back. I hate that. I hate the scavenger hunts, and you don't find the thing that you went after, and then you gotta go do it again. Well, that's what I did all night yesterday. So, who has questions? I'm here to answer questions with my precious time. Did y'all see I got a new oil? The True Love oil is now ready and available. It took 5 weeks to make the shit, but it's good, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's good shit. I actually made my man a bath with the ingredients in that oil, like not the actual oil, but the ingredients that I put into the oil. I made him a bath with it, and immediately after the bath, like, he jumped on my ass like a $2 horse. So I was like, hey, this is it. I gotta make this into the oil. This is the one. And then the next day, he bought me a new car. So I'm not saying everybody's gonna get those results, but I'm saying it's the same ingredients. The same ingredients that I used in the bath are the same ingredients as in the True Love oil. So, hey, I think it's good shit. You need some later when you find a man. Right. Well, it has a really strong attraction and like passion kind of ingredients in it, because that's kind of the results of what happened when I used it. So it might help with finding that true love as well. Need some for night owls. Yeah, I was impressed myself, actually. I was like, damn, like that's the fucking shit right there. That's the shit that's got to go in the oil, yeah. But then I had to, the spirits had to do their thing for 5 weeks to make it ready for everybody. But it's ready now. It was finished last night. It's up on the site. So everybody check it out. I remember in your video about... remember in my video about... I have 2 half-brothers. We are from same mom, but different fathers. Would I share their ancestors, or just the ones on my mom's side? Just the ones on your mom's side would be the shared ancestors with that. Okay, guys. I'm here for you to answer your questions. Let's go. Mama is busy. And then I've been sewing all night. Because I don't know if I can show. Let me see if y'all can see something. See, all my cabinets have like curtains. So like none of them matched. They were all different fabrics and like different patterns and like all kinds of stuff, and it didn't go with the new curtains. So I've been sewing all night, and I just made all these curtains, and they all match, and they're all the right length, because the last ones I made, some of them weren't the right length. I even made a new curtain for the topper up there, and it's all like the same shit. So I'm almost matching and got it going on here. How to work a mirror box for reversal work to a person from throwing black magic at me. Okay, the way you would do that is first you want to make a mirror box, and you want to put the mirrors facing on the inside of the box, not the outside. Okay, so all the mirrors facing the inside of the box. There's different ways to do this. One of my favorite ways is I'll take 2 pictures of the enemy, and I will tape them together, so the faces are out on both sides with a string in the middle, okay? And I'll poke a hole in the top of the box, and I'll hang that so the enemy is in there on both sides, surrounded by the mirrors. That's one way to do it. And then of course you throw in to the box, like reversing herbs and oils and that kind of stuff. Another way to do it is if you have a tag lock on the person, which tag lock is hair, fingernails, clothing, saliva, anything bodily fluid or bodily of your target. You can make a doll or a poppet of your enemy and put that in the mirror box, and they work great. I use them. I have some enemies that are still in mirror boxes. They've been in there for like 2-3 years. Just because they've been throwing all the time. So you put them in the mirror box, and anything they throw gets reflected right back at them, and it doesn't affect you. So mirror boxes are really useful. I like them a lot. I have a friend with a problem mirror that says it is a portal that keeps opening even after it's closed it repeatedly. He's buried it, made a vinegar wash, don't know what ingredients, and I don't know what else he's done. Can you give him some suggestion? Honestly, if he's buried it and it didn't fix it, I say bury it for good. I've actually had to do that to a mirror that was a really fucked up mirror. I did the same thing. I put wards on it, I uncrossed it, I cleansed it, I holy watered it, I buried it for 3 months and dug it back up, and it was still not closed. The energy still was not absorbed, so I buried it for good. I actually buried it in a churchyard, right outside of a church. Get rid of that shit. Yeah, I mean, mirrors are funky, and if you've done all that, and burying is like the end-all be-all to fix a mirror or any kind of object that's kind of got some attachment to it. Bury it for, a month, 3 months, 6 months, and dig it up again, and if it's still got caca on it, just get rid of that fucking thing. Burying is pretty much it, because the ground will absorb all that negative energy and the negative spirits attachments is there, and if you dig it up and it's still fucked up, get rid of that shit. How long does it take for a work to be cleared off of you? If you have done work for a year but it's been on you for 3, can it take that long to reverse its effects? honestly, it depends on the work and what you've done to get rid of it. There's different levels of uncrossing, and some things, like ceremonies, are like nothing's gonna survive that. Like if you're crossed up so bad that you have to go have ceremony, that's gonna get rid of anything on you. But beyond ceremony, like it depends what you've done. If you've done uncrossing baths, uncrossing candle work, uncrossing floor washes in your home, and this and that. If it's really strong caca, you might have to do that shit. 5 days in a row, 7 days in a row, 9 days in a row. But 3 years, that's some strong caca. And like I said, I don't know what you've done henceforth to remove it. But if it's been 3 years, that, I don't know. That sounds like I might need some ceremony to me. Sorry, I got fat finges and can't type worth crap. I'm assuming you need fingers. I had told him to bury it away from his house, but a churchyard sounds better. Yeah, that's what I do. When I got, some crossed up items or items with caca, I bury them in a churchyard. Some things I buried at the river, like right in the riverbank, to try and absorb that energy or wash away the energy. But yeah, burying is kind of the end all be all for caca objects. So if you buried it and it's still caca, write it off. What is your take on Obi and money and prosperity working? Rebecca, actually don't know a whole hell of a lot about Obi, so I don't feel comfortable speaking on that. Sorry. Seal of protection. What do you use it, and what are your thoughts on keeping evil eye out of your home for ghostly activity hung above your door? I have lots of protections on my doors and windows. The evil eye is a good one. The blue eye amulets. Those are great. Other things you can do on your doors and windows are iron coffin nail crosses. They're iron nail crosses that are fixed and cleansed and blessed with the intent for protection, because most spirits don't like iron. So hanging iron, that's also kind of like the horseshoe kind of deal. Like iron will kind of keep a lot of the nasties out of your home because they don't like iron. So I put those above all my doors, above my windows. I also have like seals of Solomon on the front backs of my doors. I have seals on my doors that you can't even see with your naked eye. They're written in special inks and oils and stuff like that. Protect your fucking doors and windows, y'all. And I was schooled a little bit on protections as well last week, because I have a crap ton of protections in my home and around my home. But I talked to a worker was actually like in the army, and so like they were really strategic with their shit, and they were like, you need to start your protections out further from your house, like on the very edges of your property, and work your way into the house. And he basically said, if they get past those layers, coming to the door, by the time they get to the door, that they should be beat the fuck up and not really have nothing left in them. So I've been working on that all week, like layering up, like kind of, I don't want to say like a spiral, but kind of, one circle, one circle, one circle, and branching it out to the very edges of my property as far as I can go, and I'm just layering protection after protection after protection. You can never have enough protections, and there's different kinds of protections. There's protections against bad people. There's protections against bad spirits. There's protections against, which I just found out as well, protections against like fae and like gremlin kind of, and jinn, and like these kind of entities are like a whole nother different level of protection. So it can never have enough protection, guys, believe me. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's it. Hello, Amethyst Moon. Do I give sexuality advice? Not unless it's Conjure related. No, honey. A friend gave me a stone cross made from her dead... I read that. You post that in the group. Made from her dead child's tombstone. I am obligated to keep it. I don't want it in my new house. Am I wrong and insensitive? See, and I didn't answer the question in the group because it's kind of, it's a touchy subject with that one. I mean, I don't understand why your friend gave that away, for one thing. But if she did give it away to you, then that's obviously, I'm sure it meant like a lot to her. And to give it as a gift, it was either an extreme, like, vow of friendship, or I don't know. I can't understand why she gave it away. But if you don't want it in your home, I don't think I'd get rid of it, but maybe put it outside, like in your garden, or I don't know, if you got a bird bath, like stand it in your bird bath, or something like that. But if you don't want it inside, it is kind of weird. I probably feel really weird about it too. I probably wouldn't have taken it, actually. But getting rid of it, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like heartless, but because it's not. I can't think of the right word to use for the to like get rid of something like that. But I wouldn't want it falling in the hands of somebody else. Let me put it that way. Like, if you gave it to a thrift store or sold it at a garage sale, or something like that, I don't think that would sit right with the spirits and all that. So put it outside, honey. Put it outside in your garden, in your bird bath, something like that, if you don't want it in your house. But yeah, I'm really curious why she even would give that away. That's really odd. That's weird as fuck. Either give it back or bury it somewhere. It is very weird. Jumping around lately, can't keep up. I am? Are you guys talking about the videos jumping around? Or like are you mean I'm jumping around on my days that I'm doing lives? Yeah, if that's what you're talking about, I'm busy, y'all. And if shit comes up and shit needs done, I gotta do it, so, like I said, I give you guys my time, my precious time to answer questions and help people and do this. So, I do it when I have the time to do it, and it's almost always, one day a week. It might be a different day, depending on what's going on. But I try and do it, once a week. Love your insight. Sounds like I'm talking to my auntie and my mom. Unfortunately, they're not initiated and scratch into polyamby like I am. They're Christians. Yeah, but I mean, there's lots of knowledge outside traditions as well. So yeah, lots. I would never push aside, like Christian or Catholic witches or witchery or practitioners, or anything like that, because there's a lot of knowledge, and that kind of stuff too. Are cleansing candles just as good as a cleansing bath? No. Nope. Not as good. What I usually do personally is I'll do both. I'll do them together. Like, I'll put out, an uncrossing candle or something, and while it's working, I'll go get a bath. Can't ever be too much or too careful. On your video about covering your head, you said to be careful about when you go to botanicas and metaphysical shops, that the spirits don't attach and follow you home. Can that happen when you order online, and how do you deal with it? I don't think they can attach to you by ordering products online, but you can order items that have attachments. Definitely. I make it a practice. Anything that comes in my house gets cleansed. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a 7-day candle or it's a new piece of furniture. Anything that comes in my door gets cleansed. And if I feel some really nasty caca on it, I won't even bring it in the house until it's cleansed. Like, I'll leave it outside or in a garage or something until I get around to cleansing it. Now, something like, I order some 7-day candles from a Botanica, and they come in a big box, and, I'll bring the box in, but I cleanse, every candle before, I work it or I use it, because if you're ordering from shops, those items have been touched, they've been picked up, they've been looked at, they've been pondered over, they've been thought about, and every person that's touched those things has put a little bit of energy on it. So especially, conjure items, candles, curios, that kind of stuff, I make sure it's always cleansed before I try and work with it. I was actually talking to my godmother the other day, and she said something really interesting. We were talking about energy transference from people, and she informed me that she no longer really likes eating out in restaurants because she don't know the person that touched her food or the mood they were in when they prepared that meal. So if the cook was super pissed off at his boss or whatever, and he's putting that energy into the food, so, and that's something I had never even really thought of. And then she also said, like, one of her favorite, like, guilty pleasures is getting pedicures, because I don't know, she said she can't do her own feet like really good or something. So that's like one little, splurge she does on herself if she goes and gets pedicures. And she's starting to worry about that now too, because your feet are what ground you, okay? And you absorb and release a lot of energy through your feet. And apparently the last time she went and got a pedicure, the woman that was doing it and touching her feet and doing all this stuff was like really angry and having a really bad day or something. And my godmother was like, she actually put that energy in my feet, like through, touching my feet, it went through me. And she's like, after I got the pedicure, I had to go ground myself. I had to go, clean the fuck out of myself and like this and that. So you really gotta, this is really interesting stuff to think about. And I'm one of the people that I don't like people touching me. Like, I don't shake hands. I really don't do hugs or anything like that unless I, like, know the fuck out of you. Like, you're my BFF or family or something. And maybe even not even with some family. But I don't like people touching me. I don't like people putting their energy on me. Shaking hands is something to be really leery of. Especially if you're a woman. If you're a woman, people shouldn't be shaking your hand. That's kind of like a guy thing. But guys should be really careful of that too. So yeah, that was a little bit on the energy transference question. I think I went way off topic there. Is a tattoo of a saint a good protection, like a cross? It can be. Now, I am aware that there are some, religions in like Tibet and those kind of places that actually do protective tattoo, and like monks do them and stuff, and it's like a thing, and people go to the monastery and they get these certain tattoos placed on them by the monks for protection. And there's people that swear by it. Like, I seen a whole special about it, and like the one guy was like, somebody cut me with a machete and it didn't cut me. Like, he whacked me with it and it didn't cut. Somebody else said it blocks bullets. Like, stuff like that. So, I think really depends on who does the tattoo rather than just having. But I mean, a lot of people do that. You look at a lot of, especially in the Latino community and stuff, they're big on doing, Jesus and crosses and Marys and all that stuff, and they think it protects them. So if you work with those saints a lot, it very might well be a very good protection. My uncrossing candle melted in the shape of a middle finger. That's funny. Sorry. Oh, Lord. I'm not big on reading candle wax remnants from, like, chime candles or tapers or stick candles or anything. Now, glass candles and 7-day candles, yeah, I will read the fuck out of those all day. But candle wax, meh. Unless there is something prominently popping out at you, like you look at it and bam, and that's, right in your face. If you got to sit there and look at something from 10 different angles and try and see something in it, then there's probably no message in the candle wax. That happens very rarely. A perfect burn on a chime candle, taper candle, anything like that is no wax. That is a perfect burn on that kind of candle work. If there's nothing left but like a little tiny spot where the candle was, that's a perfect burn. I have been a solitary practitioner for 30 plus years. I am a new subscriber. Love your content. How has being public helped or hurt you? Well, welcome, Andaro. I'm glad you've joined us. The public, I mean, I don't know if it's helped me at all. Actually, honestly. I just do this shit to help people because that's my charge and that's my task. That's what I gotta do. Hurt, of course you get, when you get attention, you get enemies. So, but does it hurt me? No. No, I ain't even gonna get into it. But yeah, I really don't do it for any other reason other than, to help people with my time and my knowledge and what I can do. I made it again. Hello, Ancient Visions. Scrolling back for Ryan Gosling. Okay, the days are jumping around. All right, okay. Yeah, I'm so busy, y'all. So I try and do it, on a certain day of the week, like we were gonna do Sundays, but I was super busy yesterday. I was in the cemetery all goddamn night, so I didn't get to it. And then when I got home, I was just dead. I was like, I can't do it live tonight. I went to a crap thrift store today, and they had an evil-looking Virgin Mary for sale that looked like it had blood coming from the back of it, and the whole store smelled bad. I've actually been in those thrift stores, too. I got a really nasty thrift store down here. I can't even describe the smell of it, but I think it's like a thrift store, but they also kind of rescue cats that have like feline leukemia and feline AIDS and like stuff like that, and like the cats are in the store. That might be where the smell's coming from. But even if you buy something from that store, like, it smells. So I quit going in there. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying no evil looking Virgin Marys that look like they have blood on them. And I wouldn't buy from a thrift store that was stinky. I would find another thrift store. There's plenty. You are such an inspiration, and I really look up to you. Could you give any tips for how to be the best witch you can be? Well, thank you, KD Ask. That's all. How to be the best witch you can be? Help people to the best you can, and that can mean all kinds of different ways. Keep your ego in check at all times. Never think that you know everything about any subject ever. And I don't know, try really hard not to be too opinionated or force opinions on other people or get offended easily. Other than that, work with your spirits daily, venerate your ancestors daily, and build those connections and that strength, and you ain't got nothing to worry about. And study, research. That's about all there is to it. Okay, she was moving to Mexico, and it came with a Mary statue. She had in a grotto she gave me. She didn't want to leave it because she sold the property and didn't know what to do. Why didn't she take it with her? Honey, I don't understand. Why couldn't she take it with her to her new place? Hello, Boris! Welcome back. Boris was busy. And still kind of am now. Can you enlighten, please? What's your opinion on sacrificing witch's own blood to anyone? Such as a wide range of opinions I hear. I am of the school that your blood is the most sacred fucking thing you fucking have. The blood is the life. So I don't do nothing with my blood. The only thing I've done with my blood is make pacts with spirits of my tradition, and that's as far as it's gonna go. And those are very serious, big deal kind of things. And your blood makes pacts. Even if you look at like folklore and superstitions and stuff, where people sell their soul to the devil, and they have to sign a contract, and they sign it in their own blood. That's a pact with a spirit. Blood makes pacts. And I am highly of the school that you don't give that shit to fucking anybody unless you're a woman and it's menstrual blood. That's the only blood that I would use for anything. Anything. Because that has its own certain kind of power and energy in it that's very useful for all kinds of stuff. But as far as, pricking your finger, cutting yourself, and putting it in work, or anything like that, I say don't fucking do it. What are your thoughts on Spellbreaker candles? Meh, I'm assuming you're talking about like the 7-day glass ones that say Jinx Breaker, Spellbreaker. I think that's basically like an uncrossing kind of candle. It's along the same lines. I think those are okay if they're fixed right. Any kind of candle work depends on, what ingredients are put on it, the intent that's put on it, and the way it's worked. So all those candles can work if they're done correctly. Do you have a Santa Muerte, and do you work with her? I actually do not. I work with a lot of dead, but I don't work with like Santa Muerte in particular. I do work with spirits of death and dead themselves and that kind of thing, but it's not in the Santa Muerte guise or cameo. That's the word. I have some of my baby brother's cremains in a necklace. He committed suicide at all. They're super close. I used to have him on my Ancestor altar, but he made it clear on more than one occasion that he wanted to be with me. I started wearing a necklace, and people tell me I'm being morbid when they ask what I'm wearing. Is there anything else I can do to honor his wish? Honey, I don't think that's morbid at all. But I can see why he didn't want to be on the Ancestor altar, because while your brother is a relative, not necessarily an ancestor. Ancestors are people who would be like birthed of you. So that would be like your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, your great grandfather, your great grandmother, you know, on and on and on. It's not so much siblings and like cousins and aunts and uncles, and I mean you can put them on there to, you know, elevate their spirits and you know that kind of stuff, but that they're not necessarily ancestors. So he might have actually had an issue with that, and I don't think there's anything morbid at all wearing a necklace with the ashes in it. I think that's really beautiful and awesome. So I say fuck what the fuck everybody's saying. Fuck it. Listen to your brother. Listen to his spirit and what they're telling you to do, and fuck what everybody thinks. Don't bother about what people think. I guess if wearing stuff like that helps you feel better and closer to him, then wear it. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Manicures, be careful with who gives you a tattoo. Yeah, I have like one tattoo artist that I go to, and he's like cool as fuck. I've never had an issue being in his shop or having him touch me. Yeah. Picky. I got my hair cut by someone that was trying not to cry, and that was bad enough. My hair looked awful, and I felt awful for a while after that. Yeah. And see, people, they aren't even aware of this shit, you know, and even, let's say something as simple as you go out to eat, and your waitress is in a bad fucking mood, you know, she's like, has attitude, and huffy, and like, whatever, and, you know, she's bringing you your drink, she's bringing your food to you, not to mention the cook, what kind of fucking energy has he got today, you know, I'm already kind of leaning off the eating out all the time anyway because I have celiac disease, so I can't. There's like 3 places in town I can even eat. One of them I do continue to go there, and that's the place that has the gluten-free pizza. But I know the waitress that I always have, and she's like really sweet, and she's always nice, and so I don't have a problem eating there. I'm kind of getting along the lines of like I'm doing all my own cooking. You know, not only for the food allergy, but also for the energy of the people that are handling your food. You know, kitchen witchery is a big thing. Like, it's a big, like, witchery really started in the kitchen. It really did. It started with the herbs and cooking things in a big pot, you know, and like, kitchen witchery and cooking witchery is like a big fucking thing. And what's the saying? You are what you eat. So yeah, I mean, if you're eating the shit that somebody, you know, had some fucking cock out energy on them, and they handled your stuff or cooked it, you know, especially, you're eating that energy. You know, it really, and I didn't even think about that. My godmother brought it to my attention, you know, like 2 days ago, and I was like, damn, I didn't even, you know, correlate that shit, but she's like totally right. So yeah, I'm cooking at home even more. Like, I have to do it a lot because I have the celiac disease, but even more so now. Like, I don't want to cook everything, you know. Once in a great while, I'll go out to eat. You know, my husband wants to go out, whatever, I'll go out with him. But there's only a couple places I can go anyway, so yeah. But the haircut, yeah, and you know when you get a haircut to always ask for your hair at the end. Like, have them sweep your hair up and give it to you in a bag before you go. Hi, Felicia Fifi. That's cute. How soon, if you're a beginner, is enough time to do your first spell? I'd like to do a freezer binding spell. I don't think there's a time frame on, like, you have to have been doing it this long before you can do a first spell. I don't think there's anything like that, because, I don't know, I'd say if you want to do a freezer binding spell, research the fuck out of it. You know, look at different ways to do it online, Google it, go to websites, ask people on groups about it, and keep researching it until you feel comfortable enough to do that thing. And, you know, if it backfires or something negative happens, then hey, you learned a lesson. Chalk it up. We all got scars, honey, from fucking workup. So, but that's how we learn you know, how to do it correctly and how not to do it. So, I say research it until you feel comfortable, till you think you got this and you can do it, and then go for it. And if it blows up, then you learned a lesson. Both ways. I actually love having him with me, but I've actually had people tell me to leave that shit at home. I found that very insulting. That is very insulting, and I don't know, maybe you could disguise it some way, like make it look like a different thing somehow. So maybe those kind of people wouldn't even realize that you're wearing it if they really have a problem with it, because you don't want their damn, you know, cockeyed energy all about it. I would have, I don't know what kind of pendant it is that you have this in, but maybe you could try and disguise it as something else. That's just an idea. It is insulting. Just don't tell them what it is or where it is kind of hidden. Yeah, wear it inside your shirt. You know, tuck that shit in, and they won't even know you got it on. I have a tattoo of the beheading of St. John the Baptist. It has been a burden to carry. I bet you it has. Yeah, that wouldn't be a tattoo I'd want to carry around. That's some energy right there. I do have to do, and do I have to do a spiritual bath before the freezer binding thing? I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say you have to do a bath before the work. I would definitely say do one after the work. After the work. Because that could definitely pull in some negativity with that type of thing. But I think, you know, everyone should do maintenance baths, you know, minimum of once a week anyway. So, bath before, bath after, definitely. Where can you go to have ceremony done? Well, first you'd actually have to get a reading and see if you really actually need ceremony. And then the person that would do that reading could either, depending on, you know, what tradition they're in or whatever, could do ceremony, or they could send you to someone to get it done. But you'd need a reading first to see if you actually need ceremony done. I have moved into a house where there had been drugs, prostitution, and a stabbing. Yuck. What would be the best method of cleansing all that caca from this shithole? Wow, that would take a fuck ton of cleaning. Several different methods and layers and different kinds of cleansing. Because that's like 3 different kinds of energy. I mean, like, I would probably start off with remove negativity, floor wash. I'd probably follow up with an uncrossing floor wash, and then I would follow that up with like a sweet floor wash. Because after you get rid of all that caca, you want to bring in, you know, the good energy and the sweet stuff. So, it's a process for something like that. She only took 1 suitcase. It is a rebirth of kinds for her. Ew. Don't really think she thought it out. That's even more reason why I would say hang on to that thing. She might regret it and want it back. Put it outside. Put it in your garden. Put it in a bird bath. You know, something like that is what I would do, but I wouldn't get rid of it because something just told me that she's going to regret that and want it back. I'm going to put it in the nature. I might mail it to her. Yeah, I mean, that'd be a crap ton of shipping to ship a stone cross. Yeah, put it in the nature, put it outside. That's my suggestion. And, you know, like I said, something just told me that she's going to regret the fuck out of that and want it back. So, I'd hang on to it. Are you super specific on where you dispose of candle remains? It depends. It depends on the work. Sometimes I just throw them in the damn trash, depending on what they are. Some work has to be disposed of at specific places. It really all depends on what the work is, on where I'm, or how I'm going to dispose of it. Like, if you do something for positive, like let's say you know, do a success or prosperity or bring in love or that kind of work, you want to dispose of it on your own property. You want to bury it, you know, by your door, by a tree, in your yard, in your garden, on your property. If it's something else, like open roads would go to the crossroads to be disposed of. If it's something negative, you do not want to dispose of that shit on your property. I usually give it to the river, or I take it to the woods. I give it to a tree in my neighbor's yard. Oh, so mad they cut that tree down. But I put so much work in that tree, y'all. I made candles out of my spell candles and gave them to someone, and some crazy shit happened to him. Hold on. I made candles out of my spell candles. I gave them to someone, and some crazy shit. How do you make candles out of spell candles? Because it's a candle. I'm confused. Made candles out of my spell candles. I don't know what that means. Is a protection candle good once a month, or where you suggest once a week? It depends. I mean, you know, like, if you got a lot of people throwing at you all the time, or you live in a bad neighborhood, or that kind of thing, you might want to do them a little more often. My personal favorite, pretty sure I did a video for it. It's on my channel if you go back, is a oil lamp for protection. I just light that, you know, I light it every evening. I'll light the oil lamp, or every morning when I get up, I'll light it, and I'll leave it burn all the time. And it's a protective oil lamp, and you just put the ingredients in the lamp, add the oil, and, you know, there you go. I just stopped eating out, too. Crazy how enlightenment changes so much. Eating that energy is true. Yeah, my godmother schooled me on that, because I hadn't even considered that. Hello, Allie. Glad you made it, even though you're late. The best thing I have ever eaten was made by someone at a sort of bistro, and I could taste the love and happiness, and it is very... Any other time I ordered the same thing, it didn't taste like that again. Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal to actually cook food with love. I mean, it really is, and that's why, like, Grandma's cooking is always the best fucking cooking. She puts all her fucking love and heart and shit into that food, you know, cooking for her grandkids and shit. Food cooked with love definitely always tastes so much better than, you know, something cooked in a restaurant or just thrown together, or, you know, whatever. I totally 100% agree with that. My husband used to say it to me all the time, like, because I'm a really good cook, because my grandmother taught me how to cook, so I'm a good cook. And my husband, you know, he'll joke around, he'd be like, why is your cooking always so good? And I'm like, because it's cooked with love, honey. It makes it, whoop. Oh, there's my cat. I don't even know he's back there, the camera fell down. He's so funny, look at him. He always lays like that, goofball. I have really odd animals. Excuse me, guys. Fifi, I think your name is Adorbs, by the way. That's so cute. How do you work figure candles and poppets, voodoo dolls? Again, voodoo dolls aren't what people think they are. How do you work figure candles? The figure candles is a representation of your target. So if your target's a guy, you want a guy candle. If your target's a woman, you want a woman candle. If it's like couples, you know, if it's a love thing or a separate thing or something, you know, two people, then you want a guy and a girl. Or a girl and a girl and a guy and a guy. It depends on the relationship. Poppets are more specific of a tag lock on a target, and they can be worked for anything. They can be worked for protection, they can be worked for healing, they can be worked for negative influences, and it all depends on the kind of poppet. Because my favorite way to do a poppet is to make it out of wax. And you can do different things with that than, you know, ones that are sewn up. So it all depends. Oh my god, I'm late, Spirit of the Witch. It's alright. Yeah, the kid, he's a goofball. It's in a silver and glass vial. I was thinking about changing the vessel, but was unsure about disturbing his remains. Honey, I'd change it up. I really would. And, you know, and don't tell people what the fuck it is once you do it. So, you know, either that or, you know, stick it down in your shirt when you go out and don't let anybody know that you're wearing it. Ask him what else he could be put in. I was thinking of a sealed locket or something that other can't see what's in it. Yeah, I actually made my husband an amulet a couple weeks ago, and my husband's like, I have made him so much shit over the years, you know, for protection and this and that, and he won't wear it and he won't carry it, and it's like really annoying. So I got smart and I went through his jewelry box and I found like a pendant that he wasn't really wearing that much, and it was actually hollow. It was sterling silver, but it was hollow, and it looked like a horn, but it was actually hollow inside. So I fixed that fucker. It was his jewelry, so I just, you know, I drilled a hole in it and I put that shit in there and sealed it back up with the wax and shit, and he wears it every day now because it's something he doesn't mind wearing because it's his. So, you know, get smart with your shit. Hello, Pepper Deroni. I have been watching your channel for a while now, but I've never been able to chat. Family is sleeping, and I finally have free time. Well, yay! My husband's on the night shift again, so I'm home alone as well. Good night, Marlene. Sorry you had to leave us. Y'all, Marlene Lopez sells the best damn soaps, like, ever. Get some of her soaps. I'm going to meditate on it and see what he tells me. I certainly don't want to disrespect him in any way. Yeah, you can always hide it, honey. Just stick it in your damn shirt. Stick it in your bra. Okay, so you reused spell candle wax and made another candle and gave it to somebody. And fucked up shit happened. Yeah. Well, you know, for one thing, you're mixing, because I'm assuming it wasn't just from one spell work. Like, I'm assuming it was accumulated from different kinds of work. You're mushing and mishmashing all those different works together into, like, one thing, and then you gave it away. That'd actually be a really cool gift for an enemy. But I wouldn't do it to a friend. Yeah, I can see why some fucked up shit happened if that's what you did. Hey, there you go. How's it going, Denise the Wandering Artist? I was wondering where you were. Yeah, she's always here. How do you suggest to use holy water? Is just putting it on yourself enough besides baths and on your bed? You can do a lot of shit with holy water, and like you can actually drink holy water. Um, I use holy water for all kinds of shit. I use it in baths. I use it for cleansing. Like I actually have a mixture I make, and I call it blue wash, and it has holy water in it. And I put it, in like one of these spray bottles. And if there's caca in my area or shit that I can't really cleanse, like couches, and I just take the bottle and I'll spray um, everything down with that shit, and it has holy water in it. Um, you can use it in work. You can put it on yourself. You can take baths with it. I mean, holy water is like awesome. And drink it. You got some really nasty shit on you, drink some fucking holy water. Seriously. Would oil be for a specific goddess, like Isis oil, be invoking her or as an offering? It could probably actually be both depending on the oil. No, I don't know. Oils do not invoke spirits. They really don't. Oil is its own spirit, or the combination of spirits to create an energy in that oil. So yeah, it's more like an offering and an honoring to certain spirits. Like I make the Ancestor oil in my shop. That wouldn't invoke your ancestors. No, it's you use it to dress their candles and their items, and put it on a candle to communicate with them better. And it's like an honoring offering kind of deal. I haven't really ever seen an oil that can invoke a particular spirit. No, I don't think that's a thing. My ex put some crazy love magic on me cooking for me when we first met. It sounds nice, but it was hardcore warlock shit. Absolutely. I had an ex that used to love cooking for me, and we were having a fight one time, and he was cooking, and he came back with 2 plates, and he was like, "Which plate do you want?" And I was like, "The one you didn't put fucking poison in." And he looked at me, and his face went dead fucking serious, and he went, "But honey, I put poison in both of them." And I was like, "Oh damn." Yeah, watch your food, y'all. What kind of camera do you do live chats with? It's just my phone. It's a Galaxy S7. I actually, one of these times, I want to set up my laptop, which probably has a worse camera than the S7, but I think the laptop would make it a lot easier for me to do the questions, and I wouldn't have to be all like in the damn camera like this. I was gonna do it tonight actually, but I was already running late, so I was like, fuck it, I'll try it next time. But yeah, I want to actually try and have my laptop maybe over here, and then I'll have the camera on the phone doing the live, but then I can also be on it on my laptop, and I think that'd be a lot easier to get to the questions. I wouldn't have to do all this scrolling and like all this stuff. Country Al says, we don't practice exactly the same way, but I so look forward to your live streams. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, everybody practices a little different, even if you're the same path. Everybody's shit's gonna be a little different. I definitely believe the land where I live has some major caca on it, however you spell it. You spelled it right. Except not 2 A's. It's not caca. It's C-A-C-A. Caca. However you spell it, like some bad things happened, or people and places worked on it, etc. Anything you suggest to keep it at bay. The land? Bless the land. Cleanse the land, bless the land. You can't really like do a floor wash or anything like on land. But you could go around with like holy water, Florida water, that kind of stuff, and throw it around, say prayers, ask your spirits to help assist, remove, the bad energy off the land. But land is difficult because this is why dirt is so important in Conjure and Rootwork and Hoodoo and like these kinds of traditions. Dirt's really fucking important because the dirt absorbs whatever energy is on it. This is why, you know, like you want some money, you get some bank dirt because, you know, it's sitting on that fucking money. If you want health, you get some hospital dirt because all the people that healed walk out that door. You know, the dirt absorbed that. Land is really, really, really hard to cleanse. It is, and it would. I wouldn't even guarantee it would be successful, but I would say the effects of it could probably be lessened. Definitely, and especially inside your home, you can definitely lessen it a lot. You know, there. But as far as like a big property, it'd be really, really difficult. You might actually, if you know any Native Americans, someone just said Native American. Native Americans, since they're native to this land, are actually pretty adept at cleansing land. So if you know any Native Americans or practitioners, and they might be able to help you with that. Oh, that guy hexed my house before. Also, he has done shit to almost everyone I know, so he kind of deserved it. Well, alright. If they deserve it, and it's justice, then you shouldn't have any backlash. Don't you just hate that caca shit? Abso-fucking-lutely. Hello, Jillian B. Glad you made it. What is life? Life is what you make it, honey. That's your best answer. Life is what you make it. Do you ever work with child spirits? Is there a time children might be more helpful than adults? I'm not quite sure how to answer that because I think they could be useful for their innocence. Definitely. I personally haven't worked with child spirits, though I have been visited by several. I lived in this apartment in Delaware, and I found out after the fact that there was a little girl that was actually like burned to death, like in a fireplace or something that used to be there that wasn't there anymore. But she, like, I collect antique toys, and I have them all like in my sewing room, you know, all up on shelves and stuff. And she loved my fucking toys. Like, she like basically lived in my sewing room. She'd hang out in there all the time and play with the toys. And sometimes she'd scratch on the door or like play with the door handle because I kept the door shut all the time. So when my animals going in there and getting fur on my fabric and fucking my shit up and everything, so I always kept the door shut. But yeah, I didn't necessarily work with her. She was just kind of there, and she liked my toys and never really fucked with anything or did anything. Children can be mischievous as well. They're renowned for stealing items, you know, vanishing things, taking car keys, and, you know, you lay something down and turn around and a second later and it's gone, and, you know, that kind of stuff can be child spirits as well. They can be very mischievous depending on, you know, what they were like before they died. But yeah, I think the spirit of a child, if worked with, could be useful in a couple different aspects. That is what I have too. Awesome. The laptop, yeah. My laptop's pretty old, so the camera on the phone is probably way better than the camera on the laptop. But I think it would make it a lot easier for me to do the lives. One of these nights I'm going to have them both out. I feel the caca around here for sure. A friend says this area is possessed. Pretty, but something is up. Been looking to move just to get away from it. Lots of intuitive friends say get out. Yeah, I actually I lived in another place in Delaware, and it was an old farmhouse that was converted into two apartments. There was like a top apartment, a bottom apartment, but it was like this house. Um, that I think that entire fucking place was possessed, and no matter what the fuck we did, we couldn't get rid of it. So yeah, we just moved the fuck out. When the land and an entire thing is like possessed and has an energy like that, it's really fucking hard to get rid of. And like I said, the only people that I can even think of that could successfully maybe pull that off would be Native Americans, because they're native to the land. So they should be able to cleanse the land. Make sure you resolve stuff before you leave so it won't follow you. Yeah? And protect yourself so it doesn't jump on you, like, and walk backwards out the motherfucker. A friend of mine showed me some video footage from her back porch. In the video, you can see a mist coming off the ground, and it forms the shape of a person. And you can see red eyes. Any ideas? That could really be anything. It really could. It could be a person spirit. It could be a demon spirit. It could be like a fae or a jinn. Like, it could be all kinds of different things. And the best way to figure that out is to read on it, get a reading on that shit, and figure out what you're dealing with. Nothing is sillier to me than when people use graveyard dirt for any old spell. Especially when they never paid offerings to the spirits that they took the dirt from. Oh boy, oh lord. Fuckery! Fuckery! Graveyard dirt, my thing with I use graveyard dirt for like two things. Protection and fucking somebody up. That's pretty much the only two things that graveyard dirt's good for. Again, it depends on the grave you're getting it from. So, like, if you got the dirt from a grave from somebody that was like a banker, it would be along the same lines as bank dirt. But you'd actually be working with the banker and not like the energy of the bank. It'd be a little bit different, but it's kind of along the same line. Same thing as like you got the dirt from a doctor. He could help heal things and heal people and stuff. But yeah, you gotta check with the spirits that you're getting the dirt from and make sure they're cool with fucking doing this shit. You can't just take anybody's fucking dirt and not pay them for working for you. They're not gonna fucking work for you, and they'll probably fuck your shit up. But it's customary. You should ask them first. Take some divination to the graveyard with you, and if you want some dirt, do your divination on that shit and be like, hey, spirit, are you cool? If we can do this, and whatever, and make a deal. What payment do they want to do that thing for you? It's just like working with any other spirit. Most caca land has a vortex portal or funky ley line. That's that farmhouse, yeah. It was like a funky portal. It is hard as fuck, but not impossible. The iron in the soil is magnetic and attracts events, not vice versa. That's interesting. Iron in the soil is magnetic, and attracts events, so not vice versa. That's an interesting way to look at it. I've never looked at it that way. But I know iron itself actually, most spirits, it'll repel most spirits. Not all spirits. Some spirits don't give a fuck. But yeah, I never looked at it that way. Do we have one life, or can you prepare yourself for something after that? Personally, I believe that we have many lives. I believe we reincarnate through our lineage, and which is why ancestors and ancestry is so important. Um, can you prepare yourself for the next one? I think that's one of the reasons why we reincarnate so much, because every spirit has a charge and a task, and sometimes it takes a lot of times coming back, to get it right, to do, to get the task done. And until you complete that task, my belief, my feeling on that is you're gonna keep fucking coming back until you do what you're supposed to fucking do. If you do what you're supposed to fucking do, then you can go take a seat with your ancestors. That's my personal belief on that. What's up, J Math? You're late. Is there a gopher dust that is yellow in color? I got into work today and there was a yellow powder all over my area, except for my work table. Later in the day, a box fell from a third level shelf and broke one of the tables in my area. The powder looked like pollen with an orange tinge to some of it. I personally don't know of a gopher dust that's yellow or orange. Now, hot foot powder could be yellow or orange, but it also depends a lot on the carrier powder that's being used for the ingredients. Because when you make powders, you powder up all your ingredients, but you have to add it to a carrier, so you don't have like this much fucking shit. You add it to a carrier like rice powder, cornmeal, flour, baking soda, baking powder, corn. I already said cornmeal, corn flour. It depends on the carrier powder. Like if you use cornmeal or corn flour, it can have a yellow color. If it's a carrier powder, and that could probably be about anything. If it had an orangey color, I would be inclined to think that was hot foot powder, personally. Is there a God? I believe that there is a divine creator that some people call God. That's not what I call it. But yeah, I like a divine creative architect. Yeah, I totally believe that. I didn't used to believe that. But I fucking believe it now, that's for sure. Everybody has to find that shit on their own. I know I'm late. Yeah. Is wearing the Ouija board on your clothes inviting anything in? Like I wore a hoodie with the letters and writing on it, and when I woke up, my kitchen sink and trash door was slashed a bunch. Your kitchen sink trash door was slashed after you wore a Ouija board hoodie. That's weird. I personally wouldn't think, wearing something with a Ouija board on it is inviting anything. Because in all actuality, the planchette on a Ouija board has way more fucking power than the board itself. So if you're just wearing a t-shirt with that looks like a Ouija board, I would be inclined to say that's not inviting anything in. I really wouldn't, because there's no planchette. Sink trash door was slashed. That's weird. But I don't think it has anything to do with you wearing a Ouija board t-shirt, in my opinion. What the fuck? Nothingness Chronicles. How would I keep a particularly hostile family member's energy, who I see every encounter single day, and whose room is on the other side of my wall, from affecting me so intensely? It's super hard. Alright, the first thing I would do is keep your room and your space cleansed and protected. So if their caca is on the other side of the wall, put some protections on that wall that's in between the space. In that kind of situation, cleanse yourself regularly, protect yourself regularly, and protect your room. So, the rest of the house, if they're in there all the time, their energy is going to be there fucking regardless. You could also maybe try some, like, peaceful home type deals, like a lamp or candle work or something, to try and calm the other person's energy down. You could do something like that, but definitely cleanse yourself from it and protect yourself from it. And if nothing else, just protect your room, and so you have like a clean space to retreat to. She asked me to go out to the property to investigate. I'd love to help her, but I need to make sure that I'm properly protected. She said that after the activity started, her roommate committed suicide. Yucky. Yeah, definitely protect yourself. Cover your head. Wear protective oils or, amulets, talismans, whatever you got. Put it on. When I'm going someplace that's big time, like I'm going to cemetery, if I'm going to Botanica, if I'm going somewhere that I know is big time, full of negative energy, I'll layer on as much protections as I can. And I've said in previous videos, when you cover your head, when you go in these places, you can actually just put an egg on your head, a raw egg. Put it under your hat, put it under your headscarf, your wrap, whatever you're covering your head with. Stick an egg in there, and that egg will actually absorb and trap a lot of that energy, and it also will keep things from jumping on your back, because the egg will get it. What else do you have in your house that could cause that? Oh, you're talking about the Ouija shirt, I'm sure. I believe places attract what happens, like a stage. The iron isn't for spirits, but material life. Also has polarity one can work with, but to shift the energy, you flip polarity. That's definitely an interesting way to look at it. I had never really considered the minerals that's actually in soil as to what it would attract. I always just, work with the energy of the ground itself, and not necessarily the ingredients that are in the ground, like the minerals and stuff. But that's definitely interesting. Thanks. I sensed that it was put out, but without intent or a specific target invoked. I put out my wards. Some weird shit is in this building. Grab my protective amulet and pray. Sometimes that's all we can damn do. I don't know. They're even marks going ways. I can't see possible. That's a really confusing sentence, honey. I'm back. Just had to grab a couple of my homemade peanut butter cookies. I actually watched a video the other day on how to make peanut butter cookies with no flour. It was like 3 ingredients. It was like peanut butter, sugar. Oh my god, it was 3rd fucking ingredient. Was it butter? Yeah, I think it was butter. It was like peanut butter, sugar, and butter. And you mix it all together and you scoop it out and you put it down. It like made fucking these really cool, like good looking fucking peanut butter cookies. And I'm actually thinking about trying that because there wouldn't be any gluten in it. I have. That's Alex. That's the redheaded stepchild that we inherited at Christmas. My mother-in-law wanted a cat so bad. Or no, she wanted a dog, but she couldn't handle dogs, so we got her a cat. And that lasted 3 days until we inherited him. Thank you. I have protective sigils and chalk on my walls, and I cleanse my space once a week, but the peaceful home working is a great idea. Would a blue candle be the color to choose for this work? Absolutely. I actually, if you go back on my YouTube channel, I actually did a video on how to make a peaceful home oil lamp. Yeah, I mean, you can do it with an oil lamp, you can do it with a candle. But the reason I said that was because in that video, there's a lot of ingredients that, I used and give out ideas to use in that kind of working. So, but yeah, peaceful work is always blue. So you're right on with that. What's good to use to stop you from dreaming when you sleep? I can't get a restful night's sleep or shit. We actually, I mean, you have to dream. I don't really know any way of stopping that. I've heard, and I don't know if it was like rumors or something, but I've heard that there's actually medications that can stop intense dreams. I'm not even sure if that's a real thing or if I've seen it in like movies or something. For real. I think we all have to dream, and I welcome them, whether they are good or bad, because that's the spirit plane. Your sleepscape is a way, one of the major ways that your spirits, your court, your ancestors communicate with you. So if you're having, I mean, yeah, there is a thing. People can attack you, in your spiritscape as well. They can send things, to your dreams and stuff like that. That's definitely a thing too. If you think, it's being under attack, you can, there's different things you can do for protections while you're sleeping to kind of negate that if you believe it is an attack, or even if someone's not doing it, if you think it's like maybe a negative spirit that's coming in your dreams and stuff like that. One really good old trick is just put a glass of water under your bed and crack a raw egg in it, and put it under your bed or beside your bed as close to you as you can while you sleep, and that will actually absorb and trap like any negative work spirit energy, stuff that's trying to get on you while you sleep. I protect my bedroom to the damn nines because I don't want any negative shit coming to me in my dreamscape. So I have tons of protections in my bedrooms. What's good to use? I already answered that one. Blue and white would be really good for that. Yep. Does anyone ever go into a Catholic church and do... Will you lay down, get your head out of here? Does anyone ever go into a Catholic church and do anything magically with perpetual adoration? I don't do that. The most I do in a Catholic church is grab my holy water and I might light, one of those vigil candles. Do you do jar spells? I mean, yeah, for certain things. But if you're asking if I do jar spells for clients, not yet. My spirits are not permitting me to do actual work for clients. The most they're allowing me is setting up lights right now. That recipe sounds good. Yeah, for the peanut butter cookies, it absolutely does. I'm going to try it. Yellows and golds could possibly work too for more of a happy energy added to the area, protective. Um, no, yellow and golds are really used for other kinds of things. If you want peace and tranquility, we always use blue. Um, and there's actually a thing called peace water, and what it is it's blue water, and then it has there's a layer of oil added, and then there's another layer of water onto that. So when you buy peace water, if it's real deal peace water, you should see 3 distinct layers. And what that is it's pouring water, or yeah, pouring oil over troubled water calms the water and makes it peaceful. So we always use blue for peace and tranquility kind of workings. I heard that if you quit dreaming, you go. Yep, check out that is. See, and that's what I was thinking of, and I know for a fact I seen that on Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Where she was having nightmares, and the doctor was like, if you don't dream, you go, you know? So I didn't say that, because I know that one came from a movie. What's the difference between orishas and a deity? I mean, technically, orishas are deities. They're just deities of a certain culture, tribe, and tradition. And that's, I mean, like every culture and tribe or nationality, whatever you want to call it, that everyone has their own deities and their own magic and their own kind of root work kind of thing. Every culture has their own. Um, so I think Orisha are the same thing as deities, but just belonging to a specific tribe and culture. I took certain medications for something else and it stopped my dreams for years. It really sucked. Yeah, I would hate that. Cut me off spiritually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it when I dream. Love it, because that's my communication. I get a lot of communication in my dreams from my spirits. I have done divination with cracking the egg and putting the egg whites in a glass of water. Yeah, that's called, oh my fucking god, there's a name for it. Where did it go? Starts with an E. I don't remember. But there's a fucking name for it. It's actually like a Latino and Philippine and Dominican and like that kind of area. Oh my god! Olympia! Mm-hmm. That's what it's called. That's where you cleanse yourself with the egg. That's where you cleanse yourself with the egg and you crack it in the water and you look and you divine on it. Olympia. That's what it's called. Doggy! This damn cat. Fat Alex. That's his name. Every time he walks in a room, I go, hey, hey, hey. He's a big ass cat. Oh, try the egg thing. Yep, do that. I do iron nail, coffin nail crosses on my doors and windows in my bedroom. Make sure your closets are cleansed. And by cleansed, I don't mean, you know, they're nice and orderly. I mean, like, cleanse them with forewash and smoke them out, because lots of negative things can hide in your closets. Smoke and cleanse under your bed. Protect your windows. Like in your bedroom, you can put a mirror facing out in your bedroom window, and that will kind of reflect anything trying to get in there, back out. You can also make dream pillows. Now, usually dream pillows are used to enhance your dreams. But you can also do like a little satchel pillow for protection while you sleep, and then just slide it, you know, in your pillowcase and sleep on that, and that can also help protect you in your sleep. Dreamcatcher stopped my son from at least nightmare. See, I'm not big on recommending the dream catchers because I'm not Native American. Let me get a drink here. I've been talking for an hour and a half and I haven't had a drink. Yeah, I'm not negative. Oh my God, I am not Native American. Let me slow down. I'm jumbling my words. So I don't like to recommend things like dream catchers and stuff like that. But if you would use a dream catcher or buy one, I would definitely suggest buying it from a Native American and not just these mass-produced whatever fucking shit they sell online and whatever. I would actually get it from a Native American. But I'm kind of actually lucky where I'm at because I'm in the Midwest and there's like you know lots of Native Americans out here. There's a Native American college, university about 40 minutes away, and it's like all nations um, on that campus and everything. And I go down there a lot. Um, but yeah, you won't find me recommending things that aren't really of my culture or my tradition that I'm not a part of. Do you crack the egg or put the whole egg in? You crack the egg, honey. For the glass under the bed to protect yourself, you fill the glass with water and then you crack the egg and you put the raw egg in the glass and then you put the glass under your bed or beside your bed, like on a nightstand or dresser or something. And stuff. I think they're on them now. Yeah, see, I wasn't sure if that's a real thing or if I seen it in a movie. I'm glad you said that. How should I set up a new home for the St. Mary statue? I'm assuming you're talking about the one your friend gave you. Um, I mean, if your friend had it in a grotto, then it's more like an outdoor statue, what I'm assuming what it is. I would just find a nice place for her, uh, out in the garden. Cleanse the area, cleanse the statue, set her out there. You can, when you first set her out, or periodically, or whenever, you can burn a candle with her. Like I have St. Francis in my garden because he's my patron family saint. And, like once a week or bi-weekly or something, I'll give him a candle out there. I'll sit out there, when I'm gardening, and I'll say my prayers and, that kind of deal. But yeah, my spirit's got on my ass about that because I cleanse my house all the time. But I never thought of opening the closet doors and cleansing the closets as well. And there was a lot of shit in my closets. It was like, because everything was cleansed all the time, and they knew I didn't clean the closet, so the closet was like a haven for all the caca. Because the caca, they could go in there and be like, we're safe because she don't cleanse in here. So I literally, got ill when I started cleansing my closets. Like, I got nauseated and lightheaded and got really ill when I started doing the closet cleanse because my spirits, cued me in on that to clean the damn closets. I had to do it how many times did I do it? I think I did it twice. Just, just to make sure that I got it all. But yeah, closets, anywhere where there's clutter and lots of shit piled up is a haven for caca and negative spirits. Denise, the wandering artist, has to get up early tomorrow. Okay, honey. We'll catch you on the next live. It's cutting in and out. Where's the best place to hang a chicken foot? I like putting them in my car. I hang one on my rearview mirror for protection. That's another thing, guys. Make sure you're protecting your vehicles. Absolutely. Make sure you're cleansing your vehicles and make sure there's protection in and on your vehicles. So yeah, I like hanging chicken's feet in my car off the rearview mirror for protection. I suppose you could also hang them, in windows and stuff for more protection. I'm not really big on hanging chicken's feet other than in my car. I don't hang them, but I will put them places. but not hanging, you know, like, but I'll put them, you know, in certain places for added protection. Plant a rose bush in front of the BV mare. Idea, see? Outdoor, would you dispose, how would you dispose of the egg in the water? I'd throw it outside. If you're pretty damn sure that it caught some caca, I would dispose of it off your property. I wouldn't suggest, I wouldn't pour it down a sink or put it in a trash can. I suppose you could just flush it down the toilet. Yeah, you could probably just flush it down the toilet. If it's just in general, you know, and nothing happened and you think you're alright and like everything like that. But if you're pretty goddamn sure you got some negativity in that glass, and it'll usually tell you. Like if you go to sleep and you have the water and the egg under your bed while you're sleeping, when you wake up in the morning and you look at it, it'll usually tell you if it caught some caca. And if it caught some caca, my go-to thing would probably be dispose of it off of my property. If it didn't catch caca, I'd probably just flush it down the toilet. Good night, Denise, the Wandering Artist. Drop in. The talisman I made for my car has saved my ass more times than I can count. Yes! Absolutely. I have so many protections in and on my vehicles. I think, and all different kinds. Protect yourself from accidents. Protect yourself from, you know, negative energy spirits. Protect yourself from the law. Like, put a lot of fucking protections in your vehicles, y'all. Toilet, good to flush the caca out. Yep. Hello, Black Sigil Sorcery. Glad you could join us, even though I'm gonna end it soon because the views are dropping. We had like 28 people, and now I'm down to 11. I guess everybody went to bed. Everybody gotta work tomorrow. Good night, Felicia Fifi. I hope you join us next time. Have you used copal? Someone gave me some. Not familiar with it. How do you use it? What kind of copal is it, honey? There's different kinds of copal. And they have different uses. Good night, Michael. Yeah, we're gonna cut it. I'm gonna answer Tukawaka's question. Okay, so it's white copal. White copal is excellent for smudging, cleansing, purifying. Yeah, there's red copal, there's black copal, there's white copal. There's like amber copal, there's a red copal. There's a lot of different kinds of copal, and they all have different uses. The white one is excellent for purifying, blessing, cleansing, smudging. It's kind of along the same lines as like sage. Like they pretty much kind of do the same things. Yeah, white copal is good. I use it all the time. And like frankincense is kind of along the same lines, you know, as what a white copal resin would be for. Okay, so everybody's dropping off, and I don't see any more questions. So, I guess we're going to call it a night, guys. I hope I helped with the questions. If you guys need, you know, anything I talked about in this video, like floor washes and oils and whatever the fuck I talked about tonight, you can find it in my shop, which is primitiverootsconjure.com. Like my page on Facebook, Primitive Roots Appalachian Conjure, and follow me on Instagram at primitive_roots_conjure. I hope I helped everybody, and thanks everybody that joined me, and we had great questions tonight. We didn't have any trolls. Yay! As always, like, subscribe, and share. Good night, guys.